So, here is the deal. I think AEW has had an awesome year. Of course, there's things you're not going to like and there's other things you can criticize, but you don't sell out Wembley Stadium by fluke. You gotta be doing something right. When we do break down 2023 though, the mob has spoken. Sorry, Marge, because yeah, Triple H is the booker of 2023. Why? Ugh, here's why. There is two words that sum all this up, but we are going to get deeper into it. The Bloodline. While it is definitely on a downward swing now, because that's just how life works, Roman Reigns' group has been nothing short of brilliant. And not only has it established Mr. Head of the Table as a super duper megastar, but it took all the peripheral characters and it made them top guys too. I mean, Jey Uso, as his nickname suggests, is a main eventer, and he's selling merchandise like he's John Cena or something. And Jimmy Uso has just become such a wonderful asshole, and he genuinely makes me laugh. They are both now standing on their own 2 feet, and if you had told me that 10 years ago, I never would have believed you. I mean, do you remember when they used to be managed by Tamina? Now, I get there's nobody meaner, but my word, they've come a long way. It's also working the long game too, because you just know the same thing is going to happen to Solo Sikoa, and while there was a bunch of controversy around it, I also think that it's helped one Cody Rhodes. And I know, calm your boots, maybe he should have won at WrestleMania 39, but the only timeline we can look at is the one that we got, and he didn't win there, and now we get to the end of 2023, and do you want to know who is more popular than ever? It's Cody Rhodes. So whatever WWE was planning has totally worked, and because we have been patient here, if we get to WrestleMania 40, and it is the American Nightmare who beats the Tribal Chief and becomes the Mega Champion, well, I actually think that may send him even further off into the stratosphere than maybe if we had done it recently. And speaking of taking our time, and as a man who lived through the 2010s, when WWE would be like, oh man, this story's been going through weeks, we better can it, I much prefer this direction, because you can take your emotional gland and plug it in. And look, fair enough, I get it. Maybe this one has been drawn out a little bit too much, but I'd much prefer this way to the alternative. I think all the praise has to go to one Triple H. So it really has been one of the best narratives for ages, and while Paul Levesque wasn't the man when this did kick off, he has been the person to captain the ship. Really, I don't think he could have done a better job. Look at the metrics and look at the business. It's also the same when we bring LA Knight into the picture, because once again we have to look to the past in order to rectify our future. Because there was once a little group known as Rusev Day, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this Rusev Day is amazing. I think something's going to happen here. When we cut it off at its knees, it was just Wednesday again. And nobody likes Wednesday. When it comes to LA Knight though, Triple H heard the fact he was getting cheered, he heard that the internet really wanted him to get a push, so he actually got it, and he got that main event against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Now that didn't work out exactly how maybe we wanted it to, but he's still been kept at the tippity top. That is a total 180, because when he was brought in from NXT as Max Dupree, Vince McMahon was going, well, I think I better let this guy go, which would have been the stupidest idea ever. So without wanting to repeat myself, you just know there was a time this would have been kiboshed, but now we've gone back to what's old because it's new again. If all of a sudden organically you can get over, Triple H has just proven he will give you a shot. Once again, we didn't just jump in 2 feet with this, we did let it play out, which is why I'm just going to bring in a total different subject now to continue on the conversation. But look at flubbing Gunther. I mean, 2023 has just been a fantastic year for the Intercontinental title, and it's mainly because the Ring General has brought prestige back to it. How many times did a wrestler go, oh, I'm the IC champion now, I'm going to bring prestige back to the belt, and it was just lip service. Not now. That thing means something. But if all of a sudden we did drop the ball with it, you'd be more within your right to go and scream at your TV because it would have been terrible. And let's bring in yet more evidence. Have you seen the run of pay-per-views, premium live events WWE has done recently, or the last 12 months? I would say it's only comparable to like the 2000s. I mean, even the so-called B shows rocked, and there are a lot of individuals out there who right now will tell you, well, my favorite one was the Elimination Chamber, just because they bought in so hard when it came to Sami Zayn. And once again, look, he didn't win the championship, but did numbers go down? No, they did not. By December, they had gone up. So once again, I do think the game deserves credit because he was preaching all of this down in NXT, and what he has done is he's brought it to the main roster, and he's letting it run wild, like it's Hulk Hogan. But don't bring that guy back, I'm done with him. So right now it is all peaches and cream because he can go to his boss and say, I'm totally smashing it. But because it is the wrestling industry, eventually all of this is going to crumble because that's just the way. And that's when we will really find out what this man is made of. I mean, there's also been cracks over 2023, such as the women's division, which has only really got going the last couple of months. And we still have big questions over the likes of Karrion Kross and Hit Row. I mean, they were brought back, and they haven't really done much of anything. I do understand the counterpoint to this too. I mean, Vince McMahon has gone, so no longer do you have people ripping up scripts or changing creative at the last second, so whoever moved into this role was going to benefit. But let's say you put me in there. Would I do a good job as Hunter Hearst Helmsley? No, I would not. I mean, mostly I just think that Hunter has found his style and he's implementing it within the WWE foundations, because let's face it, it's going to take decades to change that one. So once again, it's 2 thumbs up. And on that point too, you can see that the man is still learning and is still growing. Because yeah, sure, there was that period in September and October, moving into November, when it was just Judgment Day versus everyone, and Raw kind of became Groundhog Day. But even then, when we got to Survivor Series, everything started to hot up again. It is 52 weeks in a year, and wrestling never stops, so you can't be absolutely crazy all of the time. So yeah, when we bring it back down to the balance, I think Triple H has done really well. I'm going to give him a gold star. So he does get the award for 2023, but let's not pretend otherwise. AEW did a ton of good stuff that made me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. Have you watched Impact Wrestling recently? They have absolutely found a niche. I mean, you could even argue they have the best roster going, although they did put one bald a-hole on one of their pay-per-views, but you can't get everything right. I think mostly the last 12 months have been really good, and that's because, whether you like to admit it or not, WWE is competing with AEW, and then you do have people like Impact or New Japan who are also trying to find their own footing. So when you do have all this competition, you have to present the best product. And yeah, it's another reason why I did give Triple H the nod here, because WWE has been better than it has been at years. And when you are the biggest company in the world, which they are, sometimes the success does roll downhill. So I've said it once, I'll say it twice, maybe I'll even say it a third time. Long may this continue, because it's good for what ails you, especially if you are going to watch everything on TV. Do you want some of it actually to be crap? That makes you totally mad. So let's hope that when we do get to the end of 2024, we do have another neck-to-neck battle where you're like, oh, maybe it's Triple H, maybe it's Tony Khan, maybe it's Scott D'Amore, because it means us, the fans, have won. We really are a bunch of selfish nerds. Now look, this is going to cause all the controversy, so make sure you let me know your choice in the comments below. But also remember, there's no right, no wrong here. If you like WWE, more power to you. If you like AEW, well done, you're absolutely smashing it. Or if you're like me and you just love professional wrestling, you could never lose. Also, please do like the video or dislike the video, share the video and subscribe. Click the video on the screen to continue on your What Culture journey. Maybe you'll end up in, I don't know, Italy. Who doesn't want to visit Italy? Before you can follow us on social media, What Culture WWE and Simon316. If you can believe it, we also have a website, which is very creatively called ThatCulture.com. Most time for What Culture, thank you very much for joining me as always, and for all the people that go, Simon, you just sit on the fence all the time. No, I don't. I gave you a name. I said Triple H, but I still appreciate what Tony Khan has done. I mean, he gave us All In, and I got to go, and I had a very good time. Now I'm sounding like Kermit the Frog, which is always a sign to end the video. Have a great day, have a great Christmas, New Year, whatever you plan to do. Maybe it's just a random Thursday. You enjoy that Thursday. I'll see you soon.